down the stretch.
I had to make sure my shit was right. My bad.
And having a playmaker is good to have in that position, but at the same time, bigs. If you can get a big that can score and defend on the inside, that's a plus for you right now.
Yep, so we saw Pacers Gaming take Wolf in round number 1. Now here into round 2 with pick number 5. We'll see what Pacers Gaming is going to do.
With the 5th pick of the 2nd round in the 2018 NBA 2K League Draft, Pacers Gaming selects Swizzerk, shooting guard from California.
Okay, Swizzerk. I know about that dude. Okay. Okay. Pass it.
You see Swizzerk coming in there with that pick too, and now this is something interesting. We've talked about it time and time again this draft of, well, maybe teams go down that route of finding those players who have either teamed in the past or are currently teaming. Wolf and Swizzerk run the same breakout team. That Dimes is on too, so now you pair up 2 guys and Swizzerk, a great, phenomenal shooter. I remember there was a time when 2K18 started and he kind of went MIA, but he was just grinding out his character. All of a sudden pops up, it's like, oh, hey, I got all these badges, Hall of Fame, I'm ready to go play ProAm, and everyone's like, where have you been? You just came up out of the blue, out of nowhere too. So now you have Swizzerk and Wolf. That goes to the Pacers Gaming. Like I said, it's definitely an interesting strategy when it comes down to it, because Swizzerk really isn't a primary ball handler. And I mean, obviously, you're not just going to have the player bringing the ball every single time down the floor.
Come on with that.
I honestly do like that one.
Don't use all our timeouts up. Do not use all our timeouts up, man. Let people work.
Yeah, you talked about the shooting guards being a little thin in that area with this draft, so they had to take a shooting guard they felt could give them the points that we both were discussing a second ago. So it's good that they took him at this pick right now, but it's going to be interesting to see next round who they're going to be able to get and if they fit with both
Swizzerk let's get that ball out of there.
Wolf.
That'll definitely be interesting.
Take
and
a shot.
Swizzerk too, another guy in that schedule lineup, $250,000 winner. He has that experience when it comes down to playing on that big stage.
That's how I know he was.
Definitely something you look for him, honestly, right off the bat to kind of be, not in a sense that vocal leader, because I want to wait just to see who the point guard, power forward, and the center are going to be. But I think that's just going to be one of the biggest things for me is just when we transition going forward, who is going to be that vocal leader. But when it comes down to when you're in that main environment, I fully expect Swizzerk to kind of guide the team. Like, guys, I've been here before, I've won, like, I know what this feeling's like. Let me try to guide you in a sense and get you feeling comfortable in towards this land environment. But it will be Wizards District Gaming.
Next time, pass to the paint, man. When you hear me say paint, that means I'm more likely
in the second round as well. Their first round pick ended up going over towards Fresh Prince JT. So we'll see what they're going to do. Are they going to? They've gone to the blue here. Take a small forward. Or are they just going to go for that big man? And like we said, it just with the analytical side of things, Wizards District Gaming is another one of those teams who they have Pete Cross, former Throwdown member, who is the manager of that team. Then they went ahead and brought in B-Stank and Sammy Cool to try to fill out that one, to try to get more intel when it comes down to here on this draft night. And I tried picking their brains. They wouldn't tell me. Even though I love Beast so much, and not so much after this one. I hope you're watching as well. But no, just the Wizards District Gaming, they definitely have that upper hand because they're just pulled people from the community, and now
right here, I'm running point.
NBA 2K knowledge, and I feel like that's going to be huge going into this. I mean, obviously you want somebody who's going to have that 2K knowledge moving forward into this draft.
I mean, I think you look at all these teams, all 17 teams, they really kind of not only you have to have the buy-in, but you also have to surround yourself with people that understand the game and understand the players. And so when you're building a team, it's like analytics right now. You get all the information.
Let's get open. Get open. That's all I need for you to do.
From the information that's presented to you. So right now it's going to be interesting.
That's all I need for you to do is get open.
Like the first
I'm going to get you a rock.
pick whenever
let me get us this 10-point lead real quick. Get back on that man of the headband.
He was excited to go there. Now let's see what direction you think you're going to go in this right here with this pick.
Good defense, and I'm not. Let's get up out of here. Let's get up out of here
for this one.
Let's get up out of here.
This is a guy again, another $250,000 winner, and he's just proven time and time again
up top
that position. And he's a guy who's kind of swapped between going from power forward to center there as well. But enough of this jabber. We're going to have the pick coming up for you right now. Wizards District Gaming. They're ready to go. We're going to toss it over to the podium to Brendan.
I just got to get to know who everybody is real quick. That's why I'm going to regulate the ball in my hand. You the point guard.
With the 6th pick of the 2nd round of the 2018 NBA 2K League Draft.
Right here.
Wizards District Gaming selects
What the fuck are you doing, my nigga?
Power forward from Virginia.
The fuck kind of shit is that? What kind of fucking pass was that, Day-Day? Right here, I'm running point. Get open. Get open. You see me going down that motherfucking middle. Next time, pass that shit right back. So we can get that motherfucking point. When you see me on that give and go, hit me in that motherfucking cut, man. Come on, man. I'm seeing you.
That's
Make
one
it
of these
real.
things too is that
Make
JT
it
and
real.
Shump, they had team before, but
Come
before
on
they
with the
transitioned
bullshit.
to a different console there as well. So that's gonna be one of the things. You now have JT and Shump. They're teamed up back together.
Damn, man,
Scott,
come
we're gonna
on,
throw it down
man.
to you in an interview with JT.
Damn.
That's right, hanging out with Shump, who just told me he's 10 minutes away from DC, so he's really excited to be staying at home. A lot of excitement, big smile. What's going on through your mind?
Man, I like everybody else. I can't believe I just failed this far, bro. I can't believe it.
Chip on your shoulder, ready to prove some doubters?
Oh, you already know. Me and JT got chemistry, so we can be good going into the league.
Awesome. A lot of chips on some shoulders here this afternoon, but they're going to use it as fire. Congratulations to you, Shump, heading to DC. Back to you, Dirk.
And that's just one of those things too. They talked about. They had that chemistry, and again, another player who's like, I don't think I should have came here. I mean, it's still early here too. We're only 6 rounds into the second round there as well. But I know a lot of these guys in their head, they're thinking I deserve to be a first round pick there as well too. But just with Shump and JT, a very great pickup. Like you said, I think chemistry is just going to be the biggest.
Spread out, back up
when
top.
it comes down to sports, or whether you're playing esports, you can have an all-star lineup. You don't have the chemistry, it's going to fail. That's just one of the things that we have to take away from as well. But with the pairing of Shump and JT, I like that one. Shump, another guy who I think he transitioned over towards playing more of an athletic rebounder going in towards this one, or a slashing rebounder. But he's another guy who is known for his shooting, knowing to sit outside of the arc and then just get that catch and shoot going forward.
Yeah, you talk about the catch and shoot, but you also look at the rebounds, getting about 12 rebounds a game. And, his passing ability to really pass the basketball. That's what you need is somebody that can be that glue guy as well. Yeah, they can
Come on, man. Stay home on your man. We ain't called for no double teams.
He talked about the chemistry he has with JT. That's a plus. But I mean, another guy.
Right here,
saying,
Donnie.
hey,
What the fuck are you doing?
Higher in this draft. Why not? If you feel that way, go out there and you definitely prove them wrong. But I also like the fact with Shump, you talk about homegrown. You look at Washington and what they're doing, just like we did with
defense
with in Florida, and we also got here in New York and other teams. Like, they're starting to look for different players that can represent and are also homegrown.
Yeah, and this is where it's really just going to come down to at this point. Maybe if you can't maybe get 2 guys who have teamed together in the past, like in RK, now we have to kind of rewrite things. If maybe they have had 2 teammates who have played together, then that's where you can kind of go through.
Come on now.
Like, if
be ready when I hit you with the rock.
Kings are gaming pick and Insandy's not there. I expect Insandy and Moody to team up to be that kind of like that 1-2 punch there as well. But the pick is going to be in Raptors Uprising GC. They are ready to rock and roll. Let's go.
Let's go. It's called defense.
With the 7th pick of the second round of the 2018 NBA 2K League Draft, Raptors Uprising GC selects Detoxies.
Oh, wow. Detoxies right here. Up top. Up top. Detoxies going to motherfucker Toronto. Wow. Maybe. Doing.
You see the Toxies being taken there, and they took Kenny in that first round. Again, former teammates. These guys in NBA 2K17 battle.
Defense, get your man, get your man.
The bracket found themselves all the way down in towards NOLA. So no surprise again, going with those former teammates. But we will now be tossing it down to the floor with the Toxies.
Who's that on?
Let's go.
Fuck out of here. Get the fuck out the paint.
How's it feel to get drafted here today?
Man, it feels great, and I'm going to be teamed up with my buddy Kenny, who won 250K, so it's going to be a good duo, and you got to watch out for us going forward.
It's awesome. So you guys know obviously some history.
Shit, get down there.
What can fans in Canada expect from you?
They're going to expect the championship.
How the fuck 2K going to do me that way?
Love all the confidence here today. My man heading up to Toronto. Back over to you, Dirk.
Oh yeah, I'm getting used to who everybody is now. It's going. It's about to be on.
You see the Toxies there. He had an impressive combine, and you see he brought up.
What the fuck? Don't do that again, man. Stop taking your ass to the paint.
Taking with the 7th pick in the second round. And we look at the stat line here. I think he's probably one of the only players that average closer to near triple.
Go all the way through. Donnie, stop coming right by me.
Ability to affect the game, number of
That's what I'm saying. Y'all fuckers are standing around. Don't stand around. Move around. When y'all pass the ball, get from around where I'm at.
Also look at the fact about
get
2-pointers versus 3s. You're not going to get a 3-point shooter. We understand that with this power forward. But you get an efficient one that's giving you about 71% from 2s and efficiency of 70%. Those are big numbers for me. I look at guys that can be efficient in their game, within their game, in their realm, and he does that great.
And this is just like one of the things.
Let's
too,
go,
like,
bitch. I'm right here.
Get
I'm
more
right here.
Much of
I'm right here. Let's go.
0% from three, didn't even attempt one, which I mean, with the build that he had, you don't want him shooting threes. That's just sort of one of those. Maybe you're blowing a team out. It's like, hey, go ahead and let me shoot. But just with the Tox, he's a guy who likes to sacrifice a lot too. He's not just going to be this guy who's always needs to be into the action. You tell him stay out and let us run the show, which I don't think they're going to do by any means. But he's very unselfish. He'll allow the other players to shine as well. And as we're moving on forward here, the picks are taking a little longer. That's just because a lot of people's mock draft boards are now finally starting to be busted with everything that's been going down too. But I can't wait till the end of the night.
I was about to say, why did you run into the paint? Donnie, that's like dumb.
Clear-cut favorites with how these guys are going to play there as well. But the pick is now going to be in at number 8. Round 2.
Defense. Get your fucking man. What the fuck is y'all running around like we playing motherfucking Battle Royale? Spread the fuck out.
With the 8th pick of the second round in the 2018 NBA 2K League Draft, Bucks Gaming selects O'Leary, center from Florida.
Okay. There we go. That's what the fuck I'm talking about. Let's get it.
See O'Leary going to be taken there.
Yeah, why the fuck is that man wide open at the top, man? Get your fucking man.
Round out this 1-2.
Everybody wants the fucking ball, but they ain't fucking playing defense.
It's great to just kind of see the strategy going down. We're seeing some point guard centers, we're seeing point guard small forwards as well. But we will have an interview with Larry down there with Scotty Fresh.
That's right, historic day here in New York City. You just got drafted, dude. How happy are you right now?
I'm happy, man. This is what we've been working hard for, man. This is what we've been waiting on, and I get to compete with my boy Drake, so I'm ready to fight.
What does it mean to be a part of something so historic? You know, the first ever draft, you're a part of it. What does it mean to you and everybody here in this room?
I got your back.
I mean, this is what we push for, man. Playing so many years and dreaming that this would get this big, and it's finally here.
Nice. Well, congratulations to O'Leary. Back over to you, Dirk.
And that's another thing, too.
Let's go.
Again, you've seen O'Leary actually fill in for an MPBA roster with us alongside Drake on GFG, too. So, again, you're getting a great 1-2 punch. You're going to have that chemistry. And just from talking to Larry in the past, he's another guy who has that professional console experience when it comes down to esports. And that's something that you definitely hold on to.
We can get it done. We can get it done. Stay on point, guys. Stay on point.
Going to be the best.
Stay alert. Run the ball through Mr. You want to be me, and it will happen for us.
It's going to be another...
Be comfortable in your shot. Don't force no shot. That guy will get you in the game. Just do some slashing. Nobody should be going to the paint. So get them jumpers in order.
Away from getting that triple-double as well.
Yeah, and I think the other thing for him, too, is defensive rebounds. So he's a guy that's going to be on the glass. I mean, you talked about having 17 rebounds, but if you have the ability to hit those boards and getting your team out and in transition, those are other areas of opportunity there for your team. And I think he's a slasher, he's a rebounder. That's what they have. They have a great center in him. And I think the combination of playing with a player prior to getting drafted goes well for a team that's drafted right now.
Yeah, it most definitely does. And it's a thing, too. Offensive rebounds getting close to 7. Just think of how many second chance points they're going to be able to get from that one.
But I got something for him. I'm going to stop and do the jumper on him.
He knows how the game plays. He knows those right times when you go up there and snag a board, am I going to go up on this guy? Or am I going to be smart and be like, okay, well, I'm just going to go ahead and back this ball out. Let's get to a shooter. Just try to go for a complete reset there as well. So that's something we haven't been focusing on too much, but I think offensive rebounds is definitely a big thing just from somebody who has played in the combine and seeing really what it takes to win. You need to make sure that you're getting offensive boards. It's honestly one of the keys to winning here, but now it's going to be Knicks back on the clock. We saw them take a power forward. The first round, that was going to be Goofy, 7'5'7". Again, I keep saying I think point guard, but we've seen a lot of crazy things when it comes to those power forwards, like the small forwards and everything going there as well. But Knicks Gaming, they're on home turf. They're in home territory. They do have their pick
number 11
in round number 2.
Number 13 with ball. Who got ball? Oh, he got me on that inside activity. Just a little bit of motherfucking miss.
With the 9th pick of the second round in the 2018 NBA 2K League Draft, Knicks Gaming selects Nate Call, small forward from Wisconsin.
Stop going to the paint. You need to get into a better area. Back top. Good one, D. He in the paint too.
Nate Call,
No,
drafted
sir.
over there towards the Knicks. So
Ooh, got me on the mover.
It's going from cows to taxis.
Right here,
That's all I think when I think of New York. I think taxis, but no, the Wisconsin native now will be making his way over there towards the big city as well. But we do have Nate Call for his post-draft interview down the floor with Scott.
That's right, Nate. You got drafted here in New York City. You're playing in New York City. How you feel?
It's
Nice try,
man.
that's cool.
It's going to be exciting.
Be aggressive on that defense, though. Be aggressive on that defense.
Awesome, man. What can fans here in New York expect from your game?
I mean, I'm going to bring a lot to the table, try to win a championship.
A lot of people confident about the championship this year. I love the confidence in this room. Congratulations, Nate. Back over to you, Dirk.
And that's just like one of the things too is Nate has always been one of those truly humble guys. Like this is a guy too. Not only is he great at ProAm and in the combine, just when it comes down to just playing his 1v1 head-to-heads. I mean, we've seen one of the NBA 3-time tournaments there as well. So that's just something to bring up. You're getting a great all-around guy. Came into the combine with a shot-creating slasher and just looking to try to be that leader, trying to be that person.
Yes, sir.
Scorer
Yes,
for this
sir.
side.
I hit you in your shooter pocket every time.
Position, that's exactly what you need. You either need to be able to defend, you need to be able to score.
Number two.
Scoring definitely shows there in the combine stats.
Yeah, definitely in the combine stats. And then you also look at his shooting percentage.
Good defense. Good defense still. Good defense.
From the field, and then also 56% from three. At the end of the day, he gives you opportunities to score the basketball. We saw them go with Goofy early on, and that means that they have scoring on
It's a
both
road game
ends.
for us. That's why it's difficult right now.
Now
we in there. We in there.
From here, but they've really secured their forward game, as far as especially their small forward and power forward.
Yeah, and it's when you come down to playing that archetype in the shot creating slasher, typically you're going to be the guy that's leaking out in those fast breaks. You need your bigs, you need Goofy to try to get that ball in transition. He's
yes, sir. I'm liking it. I'm liking it. I'm liking it. I'm liking it. Let's get it.
He's definitely my guy, and like I said, when you run that archetype, it's going to be hard because if you're playing small forward and your team's telling you to spot up, you're like, well, I'm a shot creating slasher, but these guys are going to have the ability to change up what archetypes that they want to run too. So, I mean, you can still hit the three-pointer with a shot creating slasher. It's going to be very hard to do. Like trying to get that guaranteed green window and trying to get that shot, it's going to be tough, but Goofy and Nate teaming up together here in New York.
Versatility there.
That's one of the big things that goes into it too.
Oh, come on.
Oh,
it should have been a steal.
Experience when it comes down to playing Pro-Am as a whole, and it's just impressive stat lines really from what we're seeing from anybody. There's not really one guy who's kind of lacking in this statistic. It's either if they might not have as much as the other players, they make up for it in either like assists or rebounds. Like that's how it really goes. But I don't expect everybody here to drop 35
that guy
points.
I saw you and it didn't let me pass it for some reason.
A little bit out of the norm, but as the clock is winding down for Magic Gaming, 10 seconds left to try to make their pick.
Come on now,
First
that
round,
guy.
Go to our notes real quick. Ooh, they took control.
Get open.
On this one.
I need an opener.
I don't even want to make a prediction, but I don't have to make
yes,
a prediction.
Yes, sir. I need an opener.
Magic Gaming is all locked and loaded and ready to go. Let's toss it down to the stage.
With the 10th pick of the second round in the 2018 NBA 2K League Draft,
we're saying no sir on that.
Magic Gaming selects
we're saying no sir on that.
Power forward from New York.
All right, UC Manning, power forward from New York on the Magic Gaming for the NBA 2K League. Let's get it right. Right here, baby. Up top, over the corner. I see you, Manny. They ain't seen you all day, but let them see you now, boy. Let them see you now, boy. They ain't seen you all day, but let them see you now, boy. Let's go.
UC Manning will be so now you have control. He's going to be paired up here with a power forward in UC Manning, averaging about 15 points per game as well, but has those assists as well as the rebounds. But we will have UC Manning down the floor.
Stay focused. Defense it up.
What does he have to say?
He's happy. He's excited. He's having a great day. He just got drafted.
Tell me keep this lead, baby. I want this lead. Move out my way, P.
This is going to be crazy. I'm ready to just compete.
My bad on that shot.
You're from New York City. You're leaving the state. You're moving.
Never bring your defender over there. Give me my room. Give me my room. Give me my room. Give me that rebound.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
I see you, B. I see you, B. I see you.
Through it and break down a lot.
Come on now, somebody. Don't force them, Don't force them, man. Don't force them. We need this lead. We need to keep this. It's a fucking road game. Right here.
Things like that.
It's a fucking road game.
Still percent, 10% block. And it's just one of the things that we talked about. Again, if you're not scoring a lot of points,
yes, sir. Rebound.
Well, 14 rebounds a game for a power forward is pretty impressive. But the thing I'm looking at, the big focal point, those steals.
Don't trip on it. We beat up. Get that man that's on the cut. Come on now. Get out there in your home. We got a fucking quadruple team. Get your man. Stay home on your man.
Highly active on defense. Right, I mean, he's also a distributor. He can rebound.
2 on the Clizzy.
He does a number of things.
Good shot.
On a defensive advantage.
Good shot still. That was still a good shot. D up like never before. Know where your man is when it's all said and done. I repeat, know where your man
That was
is.
probably one of the first centers I was getting. No, we saw one wild walnut go first to Blazers Gaming, and then we actually ended up seeing
Come on now.
go there.
Don't trip. Good no foul. Good no foul.
This where it gets a little bit interesting. If you're heat check gaming, you can kind of sit there. It's like you already have one of the
Right
best
here,
centers in the game. If you try to go for a power forward, get the big bodies down low. That's going to be one of the things, but we're going to find that out right now. Heat check gaming.
Oh, there it is. I like it. I like that visual. I like that. Number 2 trying to get out of there, though. Make it real.
With the 11th pick of the second round,
That's no defense. That's the fucking shit that'll make you lose the game because your ass don't want to play fucking
Heat
defense.
Check Gaming selects Majestic.
You don't want to pass me the ball, D. I'm going to motherfucking block your bum ass if your ass keep on fucking playing with me, dude. When I say run me that rock, run me that motherfucking rock. Take it up. Take it up. Oh my gosh. Let me see that. Oh, come on, 2K. Because you're not on your man. That man is wide the fuck open for a motherfucking free shot. Dumb ass fucking activities, man. This fucking dumb ass shit. Wait. I'm going.
Up a little bit, and I don't want to say he's like living under the shadow of Fab.
I'm going.
Majestic can play, and I feel like he might have a little bit of a chip on his shoulder, but now he's going to be paired up with one of the best centers in the game. It's exactly what you want to see. We do have Majestic down on the floor there.
Don't trip.
With Scott for a post-draft interview.
Right here.
Right, Majestic heading down to Miami. How excited are you?
Miami?
Come on, D.
Super excited.
He's happy to be heading down to the beach, man. What are you looking for?
You won't let me fucking pass it. There it is,
Yeah,
though.
I shot on the same team. That center. You're winning it all.
There it is, though.
You heard it right here.
Yeah, somebody was trying to hit a lag switch on me. Something happened. It
Dirk.
would not let me fucking pass the ball. That was not cool.
That's something that we love to see, and he knows the value that does bring to the table there as well. But just
Fucking
overall,
go.
Majestic, phenomenal.
Got a motherfucking hater on
up
it,
with
too.
a guy like Hot Shot, they're going to be able to work up that pick and roll down to a T. It really comes down to as well with Hot Shot and the rebounding.
Come on, man, get yours. Know where your fucking man is at. Stay home on your man.
It's going to be
Do not give him somebody to pass it to. He should not have nobody to pass it to because you on your man. On all ball
Phenomenal
defense.
pick going on for it. Honestly, in my head, I was either thinking, okay, you can either go with Timely Cook, who was somebody I could see going with that one as well, or Majestic going on forward. So still, overall, a great pick, but now it's going to put the Blazers back up. They took one wild walnut.
This bullshit, man. What the fuck is wrong with you, man?
Please, pair up center with a point guard. That's going to be one of the big things. So, honestly, could see Timely go.
Get open. Stop standing right there by me. Ask for the fucking ball, idiot.
Number 1, I didn't think he would fall down into the second round. I think that's one of my big shockers so far, and one of the biggest takeaways for me.
Yeah, something ain't right.
It's going to be interesting to see who they try to pair up the center with, and obviously I think we can both agree.
Stay home on your man. Y'all keep on leaving fucking people open.
We've seen a couple of these teams kind
That's what the fuck is happening right now.
And going with a shooting guard or a small forward and a power forward, and we really want to see consistently in this second round here point guards going. So this would be a perfect opportunity right here to get a solid point guard for them.
I have to think in my head, if the Blazers doesn't pick Timely here, I have to think that the Pistons GT is going to pick Timely at that one.
Yeah.
I know that's something that they valued. They wanted to try to get a top point guard, but they wanted to try to get the best overall first and then move on forward with that one as well. So with Blazer Gaming, who had to pick 12, 35 seconds left on the clock to try to make the decision, you're trying to pair somebody up with the one wild walnut. That's going to be one of the biggest things, but we did just get word. The pick is going to be in Blazers Gaming with pick number 12 in round number 2. Let's toss it down to Brendan on the stage.
Wow, that was the dumbest pass ever.
With the 12th pick of the second round in the 2018 NBA 2K League Draft, Blazer 5 Gaming selects Mama I'm That Man, point guard from California.
Mama I'm That Man? Who is that? Alright, point guard from Cali. Know where your man is. Stay on it. Know where your man is. That's not your fucking boy. Shooting guard plays fucking defense, man.
Blazer 5 Gaming there. They're going to go and take Mama I'm That Man. And again, a lot of people are going to know about him if you've been around in the ProAm community just as a whole. He's played 58 games there in the Combine, 78% win percentage, but his numbers even more impressive.
Numbers more impressive for sure. He got 24 points a game.
Defense, y'all,
He's giving you
defense.
about 14 assists. I mean, they're doing a little bit of everything, but probably in this draft, one of the most highly scoring point guards that you have with giving you about 24 points.
Way to stay home. Way to stay home. Way to stay home. Right here. Right here. Right here.
One of the more funny names here that we have in the NBA 2K League. Mama I'm That Man. Stop, take it away.
That's right. I was just telling him this is my favorite name of the day, Mama I'm That Man. You got
Way to get that foul. Way to get that foul.
Growing up in the band, and Mark Jackson was a coach at the time, and you say, Mama, there goes that man. So I took the name and ran with it.
all together, it's going to be hell. It's going to be hell for the other teams. A lot of excitement right here. Mama, I'm that man heading to Portland. Congratulations.
Right, I'm forgetting that.
Over to you, Derek.
I know Scott could sit there and just say, Mama, I'm that man over and over.
Let's go, bitches.
That's something that I love about it as well. Scott can kill down his neighbors. Keep it up, buddy.
Get your man. I don't need no fucking double teams. Get your fucking man. Stay home with your fucking man, D. Damn, you bullshitting out here.
Here with the second round, so it's going to be
the ball in my hand. I ain't even here. That's
on the clock, and as we brought up, they got Raymond.
That was a fourth shot. You better be glad the AI had your back, bum ass motherfucker.
Damn. Have a guy who won. He's going to be able to defend. It's sort of the same situation with Wolf when he has that lockdown defender. Raymond's going to bring that same type of flair to the game. He's going to be able to guard that 1 versus 3. He's also going to be able to guard the big man. So he's really the complete package, and I think that's just going to be big for just building around him. He's definitely that cornerstone piece, I think, moving forward.
Yeah, I definitely have to agree with you. It's going to be interesting to see what they do here, if they would want to go even with a big. You think? I mean, there's
right here, man.
Trying to snatch up.
I had to call time I could have to get done, but we got 23 seconds on the clock, 10 on the shot clock. So we need these points.
At this point right now, I'm curious to see if they would lean a little bit towards the center.
I think
don't come by me, man.
And you're the Pistons, and you want
the side. Don't call the ball. Don't call for it.
And you pair Conley and Wolf, together.
Yes, fucking sir.
Detroit. I mean, I think that would probably be the best option. I mean, if you're going through the center, you're looking at a lot of defense
in this game. Defense in this game.
Into the second.
That's a 2. They needed a 3. 4 seconds on the clock. Let me get the ball. It's all good. It's all good. Money in the bag.
We're just going to go ahead and take them in these final rounds and like that round number 6.
Money in the bag. No worries for none of that. NBA 2K league, bitch. Turn up.
Beard just trying to sit here and think of the pick that's going to be
money in
going
the
through
bag,
bitch.
Money in the bag.
See what this GT is going to do here with this one. I think honestly, you can pair anybody up with Ramo at this point. I think they're going to end up cooking. I think that's just one of the things that's worth mentioning is his mentality.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
sir. Money in the bag. Money in the bag. Money in the bag.
You want him to get that like LeBron body.
Hey, good game, everybody in real life. Damn, what the fuck is that damn echo? The fuck kind of shit is that? The fuck?
With the 13th pick of the second round, 2018 NBA 2K League
I'm about to say some friend requests out because I want to link up for the squad.
Insanity. Small.
Oh shit, Insanity's got it there. Damn, who got them? Who got him? Insanity just got drafted, man. Insanity just got fucking drafted, man.
So the mentality, obviously, they're trying to play that bully ball, and Insanity typically not playing a small forward. I know there's been quite a bit of role change that's been going down with this roster in NBA 2K18, but now we'll have one of my favorite guys in NBA 2K, Insanity, on the floor with Scott for an interview.
Heading to Detroit, how does it feel? Feels great, man. I can't believe I'm in this opportunity, going back all the way to 2K14 with my boys at Throwdown, shout out to them, shout out to my friends, family back home. I'm just super excited to be paired with one of the best bigs in the game, and I can't wait to get to Detroit.
Did you think years ago that there would ever be the formation of a league that you would get drafted into?
Absolutely not. I mean, I started my career on game battles, just playing for free. So coming back to, this stage, coming to this stage is absolutely insane. It's crazy.
It's awesome. Well, congratulations to you. Back over to you, Dirk.
Yeah, the NBA 2K17 PlayStation 4 champions there as well, and it's sad for me. Now Insanity and Moody can't be on the same team, and I know that there was the Throwdown guys, when this league first announced, they were like, oh, I really hope that we can be on the same team. Like, if there's no draft, just make sure you pick up our team as a whole there as well. So we're not going to see that one going forward, but again, it's going to be a small forward pick going over there, and still, the question I'm going to keep bringing it up too, Timely is still on the table, and now we're actually going to have the next pick coming up. That's going to be Kingsguard Gaming. They went with Moody, so now you have the potential to team up somebody like Timely with Moody if they decide to go down that route for the side of Kingsguard Gaming as well. But like I said, I'm going to keep on reiterating that time and time again. I know what this guy can do, and the fact that he slipped this deep into the second round just blows my mind.
I mean, you look at Kingsguard Gaming, and I think, like you said, with them taking power forward in the first round, I think you have to go with a guard here. And I wouldn't be surprised now. Is it a shooting guard? Is it a point guard? I don't know. But knowing Shaq, I know that 1-2 punch and understanding the pick and roll play and having somebody that can control down low and out front is the direction he probably would go in. So we'll have to wait and see.
Definitely too, and Moody's just typically one of those guys, obviously in the combine, forced to play a little bit more down low, focusing more on the rebounding and scoring down low as a whole. But I think when the league comes about, he's going to probably transition into more of a shooting role. So he's going to be like your catch and shoot. I mean, I've even seen an article saying that he's going to be the Kristaps Porzingis of the NBA 2K league. So pretty high praise going in there too. But I mean, if there's a guy that's capable of a catch and shoot, I mean, Moody calls himself the best catch and shoot shooter in all of 2K. Okay. That's something too. Like we said, he's this guy who's always watching those videos. So I think if you're going to be safe here, I don't know if it's the best bet to try to go for a power forward, and obviously have the power forward, but not try to go for that small forward. Try to get somebody. Yeah. It looks like if you're going to pick Moody, you're looking to build around him quite a bit as well. So try to get that point guard. He's always playing with Dev Goss, who's always been that sharp shooting type point guard, but can pass and facilitate as well. But the pick is going to be in Kingsguard Gaming. We are ready to go. Pick number 14 of round number 2.
With the 14th pick of the second round in the 2018 NBA 2K League Draft, Kingsguard Gaming selects Worthing Colt, center, Texas.
We kind of expect that one, but so now you can see that they're trying to build it towards that power forward and center position. So now they have Moody, and now you have Worthing Colt, who's going to be an absolute bully. He's not a man who can shoot very well, and I've seen him try to bring out shooters before. It doesn't go too great, but he's definitely one of those guys that he's a threat down low. He's going to be that rebounding presence. He's like your classic NBA type big man as well. So I think pairing him up with Moody, where there's always been some friendly banter with him and throw it on before, I think bringing these guys together is definitely a potential to kind of take over when it comes down to those big positions there as well. So super happy for Colt, and just like the work that he puts in there as well. And he's going to be paired up with Moody, and I'm wondering how he's going to be feeling. But now I know he's going to be feeling great. I mean, you're not going to play being picked by anybody here, but yeah, Colt going there towards that second pick, it's definitely great. But now we're going to toss it down to an interview on the floor. We got Worthing Colt alongside Scott.
That's right, Worthing Colt heading to Sacramento. How excited are you to be drafted?
To be honest, it's a big deal. I'm very excited. I'm very happy to be here right now.
That's awesome. And Shaquille O'Neal drafted you. That's got to be cool.
Oh, yeah, I got to walk in his footsteps now, don't I?
Yeah, you got to bring it. And you're paired with Moody. How excited are you to be in Sacramento with Moody?
Oh, that's a big thing right there, man. Me and Moody have good chemistry off the field, on the field, so it's going to be a big thing.
Congratulations and welcome to Sacramento. Back over to you, Dirk.
You see Colt, they're very excited to play alongside Moody in that one. And again, like we said, the thing that you're going to be getting from Colt time in and time out is just going to be that rebounding. That's going to be one of the focuses as this season just does progress on. I feel like it can honestly, I think it's too early to tell because we don't see the full roster, but I think we're going to see very quickly, and obviously like in any basketball game, if you're out rebounded, you're not going to get that. So you just need consistent performances coming in from your centers time and time again. But the points that he averaged in 80 games is pretty impressive as long as the rebounds.
Yeah, and I think this the usage he's having, efficiency 69, but also keeping in mind his field goal percentage, 2-point field goal, 71%. So that means he's being efficient with his touches and scoring the basketball. But I also look at it as just rebounding. I mean, you have that bully ball down low. He's going to be able to get you other opportunities. I mean, when you're getting 16.9 rebounds a game, you're looking at your offensive rebounds that you're getting. That means second chance opportunities for your teammates.
Yeah, most definitely. So, I mean, that pick going there for Colton, like you said, I mean, it's cool to be drafted by Shaq, right? Like you sit there and like the announcement came out, I think a couple days before draft, like when he was the general manager of the Kingsguard Gaming, and so everyone's like, whoa, like this is awesome. But
Fresh seemed kind of excited back there too.
Yeah, that's the thing too, is that just like everybody is like everybody who knows esports and knows Shaq's been heavily involved. He's always been a guy who's been sort of like an advocate there for that as well. But now the pick is going to be in for Jazz Gaming. Who is going to be paired with Compete? We'll find out there on the floor.
With the 15th pick of the second round in the 2018 NBA 2K League Draft, Jazz Gaming selects Mr. Slaughter 01, center from Ohio.
Mr. Slaughter 01 at that center position is now going to be paired up there with one of the top point guards in the game. With Compete, he's going to be under that slashing rebounder there as well. And again, just go ahead and look at the stats. 17 rebounds for him there as well. Just an absolute masterclass when it comes down to that rebounding game. So we're going to go ahead and toss it down to the floor. We got Slaughter 01 with an interview with Scott.
That's right. This man is excited right now. He just got drafted. What's going through your mind?
Not much. I'm ready to get after it, really ready to pair up with Compete and make something happen.
What can fans in Utah expect from your game?
Winning.
A lot of winning?
Yeah, a lot.
He's confident. I love it. Back over to you, Dirk.
Sweet and right to the point. Winning. That's all I have to say. I like it. Like I said, just sweet down to the point. So he's going to be paired with Compete, and I think that's something you can take away, and you're probably very excited that you get to play with a high-level point guard like that one. So great pickup coming in there from Jazz Gaming. And as we talked about the stats again, he's going to be at the center, almost averaging that triple-double there.
Yeah, I mean, from a center position, you talk about almost averaging triple-double. I also like how impressive he is with his overall attacking of the glass. And 17 rebounds a game is quite high. Gives you a couple of rebounds, couple of steals, but just doing all those little things that you need to see in your big men.
Yeah, and it just kind of commands a paint there too, with the blocks and the steals coming into play. Almost averaging 2 blocks a game and then 3 steals a game as well, shooting 67% coming in there from the field. And there's not a guy, he doesn't get himself into too much foul trouble. He's probably averaging around 2 fouls a game, in which as a big man, that's big. Especially, that's going to be one of the things too when you're playing against a team who maybe has that slasher heavy guy, the one who likes to play down low. You need to try to avoid that foul trouble. So when you're playing a center and you're only averaging 2 fouls a game, you'll live with that one. Because there's times where they're pushing close to 4 or 5, and even times they can get fouled out of the game there as well. But Slaughter, definitely, I'm going to be honest with you, kind of a shock pick for me coming into this one here too. So a few notable picks. I mean, Celtics crossover gaming, they can't take a point guard since they already took Fab in that round 1, but Timely is still going to be on the table for a lot of these guys. So the next 2 picks, actually, we're going to see Timely fall into round 3 because both teams already have a point guard. I think could be one of the talking points here moving forward in this one. I feel like you don't want it to bite you in the butt, and that's just how it is. I'm actually very, very shocked he isn't here in this one too. But Celtics crossover game, and they ended up getting Fab. So now the question is, I know Rico, he's sitting at home. My man, I love that guy. He's watching more film than anybody. I guarantee it into this one. He's very dedicated to that one. He's going to be their draft analyst going forward here. So I know he's big on the Xbox side of things. He likes those players. He knows a lot about those players. But just with the utility that they kind of gave him when it came down to prepping for this combine as a whole, I know that he's been every single day. I try to reach out to him, try to get some information. Sorry, I'm watching videos. That's all he would ever say to me too. But I mean, I'm pretty sure wherever you pair up with Fab, you're going to be happy if you get that pick and you go towards Fab, because you know you're going to get that unselfish point guard. Yes, Fab's going to be able to score and take over a game if he needs to, but he's also going to be that pass first guy as well, which is very, very important.
Yeah, I mean, when you're building out your team and you look at Fab and a guy we talked about, and he was obviously excited to be going with the Celtics, but the ability to pass the basketball, getting guys involved, that's just as crucial as you scoring the basketball at different points in the game. So it's going to be interesting to see who they take right here, but Fab was a great first pick for him. Let's see where they go.
Yeah, definitely, and the pick is going to be locked in here now. Pick 16 of round number 2, Celtics crossover gaming. What do you have for us?
With the 16th pick of the second round in the 2018 NBA 2K League Draft, Celtics crossover gaming selects Arsenal, center from Maryland.
See, Arsenal, honestly, my breakout player for 2K18 when it comes down to that center position. He's been able to throw the name into his hat and trying to get into that top conversation of, is he the best center in the game? I don't think he's just there yet, but I mean, nothing to take away from him. Had a monster combine there as well. 30 points, averaging 16 rebounds, and a selfless player. He even says himself he's going to outscore his opponents there as well. But now, we're going to have an interview down on the floor there with Arsenal. He's going to be with Scotty Fresh.
Arsenal, congratulations on being drafted. What's going through your mind right now?
I'm just shocked that I dropped this far, honestly, and I've been playing with Fab the past 3 years, so the fact that me and him have chemistry, I don't know, it's just indescribable.
That's awesome. So you already know who's in Boston with you. That's got to be exciting. You have a friend, somebody to be living with. What can fans in Boston expect from you?
Someone who's hardworking and bringing championships.
That's awesome. Well, congratulations to you, Arsenal. Back over to you, Dirk.
Again, another guy who just says he maybe slept too far. I mean, I see the excitement somewhere in him for that one. But, yeah, I mean, you're going to be paired with Fab, and immediately you can sit there and you're happy with that one. Like, you're going to have that point guard to try to feed off each other and try to play the play style. I mean, there's going to be times where Fab might want to iso ball. There's going to be times where he needs to try to run that pick and roll there with Arsenal as well. But, like I said, he has that experience. But, I mean, that's going to be one of the biggest things. He's going to have to bring that scoring going on forward. But then when you have Fab on the team, and depending on who they surround him with, you might be able to take a little bit of the scoring load off him, allow more just focus on the rebounding game and just trying to focus more on defense.
I mean, yeah, his rebounding game is strong at 15.9 a game, but offensively he's giving you about 6 boards, and we talked about that. The second chance opportunities right there, and is shooting a high clip from the field as a field goal percentage. That's really good for him. And you just look at Devin. I mean, you talk about the combine and how guys can improve their stock in different ways. So we've seen some different picks that we didn't think were going to happen early on, but that means that some guys that are dropping, you're still getting quality guys that fit in your team. So that's why I'm sure a lot of these teams are in their war room moving around their boards and stuff, because they're trying to figure out who's going to fit now, and especially when it's best available player that could be out there.
And this is like one of the things too. So like we said, we talked about Dimes always had a defender to try to play by his side, and I think that's something that they could try to go down. And there's also a Dallas native that's going to be in this draft too, and Dave Fry, and he's a phenomenal player. So potentially could see them matched up going into this one, and then they're going to have the last pick here in this round as well, and then I believe they end up getting the next pick going, so they're going to get back-to-back picks. So they're going to be able to, that's where we're going to start to see how deadly this Mavs gaming squad can be. I mean, you already have the #1 overall, but now you have to try to move forward and try to make that decision. Are we going to try to go down a small forward lane who's going to be able to be that lockdown, or are we maybe going to try to get a guy, that power forward who can always be like a flex type player? He's going to be able to go to a small forward, he could be able to go to that center. Really just need to get him to play where you need to, but the time is almost ticking down. Like we said, you can see, like, these teams are taking so long for it. They have the 3 minutes, all fair to them, but we started rapid fire picks first round, second round, it's like, now what do we do? Like, let's think this out. Let's not make an impulse decision. So I know Jonah and crew, they're sitting there in the war room, and they're sitting there, they're trying to decipher what pick is going to be next. But now the pick's going to be in for the last pick here in the second round of the NBA 2K League draft. We'll toss it down to Brendan Donahue to the stage. Actually, I believe we're still just going to be sitting here just for 1 second, so we don't have to pick just yet. We do apologize, but the pick will surely be coming in shortly. And like we said, just this Mavs gaming, you're going to be paired up with Dimes, and again, it's going to be similar to that situation where, okay, I'm with Fab, I'm so happy. I'm going to go through this. And Dimes is a player, though, who likes the offense, the type of run through him, and that's something that can be great for you because you can kind of take over, but then again, it's if you don't like somebody who might not like to give up that scoring load, and that's where it kind of becomes that negative. But I definitely do see them trying to go with more of a defender type mind for that to help guard the 1 versus 3. But now the pick is going to be in. I'm not joking this time. We're going to toss it down to the stage. Brendan, take it away.
With the 17th pick of the second round in the 2018 NBA 2K League draft, Mavs Gaming selects Dave Fry, power forward from Texas.
So we don't have Dave Fry here, but I mean, if he was here, it's a Dallas native, a guy, I love him every single time I met him, hung out with him, and he's always just been a great all-around guy, and that's something that you take away, and that's where things start to get interesting for Mavs Gaming now. They lock down that player who plays at that power forward, but we can see him transitioning into more of that small forward role there as well. So you see the round 2 analysis coming up there as well. So we'll go ahead, quickly recap that. Going through the second round, so we saw Beast move. He ended up going to the Warriors gaming squad for that first pick in the second round. Next, we ended up seeing one of the best centers in the game in Sick go over towards that Cavs Legion side, and then going on forward, we had Goods Gaming end up taking Authority, and then 76ers GC, they end up taking Nudini. Pacers, they decide to pair Wolf up there with Swizzard going on forward, so bringing those breakout guys together. Wizards District Gaming, they went ahead and took the leap and got Shumpin. That was the instant chemistry will be there with JT as well. Then you have from the Raptors Uprising, they took the Toxies here in the second round. He's going to be paired with his former $250,000 winner teammate in Kenny up there. Larry Sr., he's going to be going over towards that Bucks Gaming. Then you had Nate Cow moving all the way over from Milwaukee. He's going to be now playing for Knicks Gaming. For Magic, you go ahead and you look forward over towards that pick. You had UC Manny for Majestic. He's going to be at 11. Mama, I'm that man to Blazer 5 Gaming. Insanity, he ended up going to Pistons GT. Worthing Colt to complete that big bodies down low in the power forward and center for Worthing Colt. Slaughter 101, Arsenal Dave Fry to clean up that one. And I have a very special guest here from NBA 2K TV. I have Rachel Demita alongside me. How are you doing?
What's up? I'm doing really well.
How are you liking the draft so far?
It's amazing. I mean, this is the day we've been waiting for, right?
Yeah.
These guys have been grinding it out, not just for the past year, but for years and years and years. Some of these guys have been playing 2K for 10 plus years.
And I know you've been doing like continued coverage dating back to just the NBA 2K17 All-Star and everything like that too. For you, just to see how everything has been growing, producing all that content for us, like, what are your thoughts on like how big this is becoming and seeing all these guys that have been playing for so long, their lives are changing like right before our eyes?
I mean, it's so cool because when we had the Road to the Finals tournament and then we had the Road to All-Star, you know, their lives changed just in those tournaments that we put on, but now seeing the NBA really get behind this and seeing Adam Silver being so excited about this new league, I mean, it's incredible and it's a huge opportunity, and these guys really deserve it.
Yeah, I mean, most definitely. And just from your perspective, from esports as a whole, is NBA 2K the only one that you just kind of watch and just try to keep up with?
Yes, 100%. If I can be honest.
It's a little bit scary world out there in the world of esports as well. But
right?
just, so from what you're seeing in the draft so far, I mean, just from, I know you know a lot of the players just from the content that you guys have produced. Obviously, you know the Still Tour lineup from last year that ended up winning. Do you have in your opinion, do you have like a little favorite team that you're kind of like leaning towards when it comes to rooting for them?
Oh man. Well, a couple of the guys have already been put on the same team and they played together, but obviously like seeing Dimes go first was really cool because we covered him and he just played incredible in our 2K Prime tournaments. But you know, it'll be interesting because you know the teams are in the cities of regular NBA teams, but it'll be cool to see the dynamic and how that plays out in NBA 2K, and if they'll kind of go with a similar style of like say the Warriors team, or if they'll like branch off and maybe play a little bigger. So I'm just excited to see where it goes, and obviously this is everybody's first time and no expectations, but high expectations at the same time.
That's like one of the things, so like I've sat there and I've kind of looked at it in my head. I'm like, how crazy it'd be the Warriors, like best team in the NBA, Warriors gaming squad, like down at the bottom of the league. It's weird that you're like in those situations. Like, what are your thoughts about that? That the team in the NBA could be very good, but their gaming team might not be that great.
I think it's going to be interesting too to see how much NBA players get involved and or are just like rooting for their squads and kind of wanting them to do well, because you know you have that reputation. If you are the Cavs or something, you have that reputation of being a really good squad, so you don't want your NBA 2K League squad to like suck, you know?
You want it to be like the same. Like, it's either going to be cool to see like an NBA team dominate everything there as well. But Rachel, we appreciate you coming on so much. Rachel Demita from NBA 2K TV, everybody. We're here at Madison Square Garden, Hulu Theater, and the draft, it passed the first 2 rounds already, and we still have a lot more to go here. Round number 3, though, is about to get underway, and that's going to put Mavs Gaming back on the clock. They get the back-to-back picks there, so we saw Dimes go with pick number 1. We saw the end of round 2. We had Dave Fry there as well, and now, who are they going to get for that first-round pick here in round number 3 is going to be the question there as well. So, with Dimes and Dave Fry, you now have the point guard position, you have the power forward position locked down as well. At this point in time, I think you need to try to grab a shooter, and if there are any shooting guards available, that's going to be one of the biggest things there as well. So if you're able to get that down, you're able to get that shooting guard position locked and put a shooter around Dimes. Like we said, if you get Dimes first, you're going to be able to get that one. So the clock actually is now going to be fresh for Mavs Gaming here in the 3rd round. But yeah, I think definitely at this point in time, look to try to fill out with shooters, but you still do need to try to get that big body down low. The guy's going to be able to get those rebounds off of those missed shots as well on that defensive end. So that's going to be one of the biggest questions. Just to recap, as we said, maybe you're just tuning in, Mavs Gaming, we're already 3 rounds deep into this one. Or they're going to have Dimes, they'll have Dave Fry to go for that point guard and power forward. So by way of rules, they have to either go with a shooting guard at this point in time, a small forward or center. They can't go for another point guard. They can't go for another power forward. That's the rules that we have set. So they have to fill out every single starting position, and then for that 6th and final pick, that is when they can sit there and go for that wild card. Maybe they want to sit there and say, hey, we need a backup for Dimes, we need a backup for somebody else, so you can bring those in. So at that point in time, you can kind of use that as a wild card pick, go for any of those 1 through 5 positions. So that's going to be something to keep in mind as the round does progress onwards. But yeah, definitely I think you either try to go for a pure sharpshooter, which a lot of the shooting guards in this draft ended up going, you either saw them on a pure sharpshooter or you saw them on a shot creating slash. So obviously the pure sharpshooter, they're going to have that advantage when it comes down to hitting that 3 ball from range. That's going to be one of the things maybe guys are new to NBA 2K and you don't know how the archetype system works. That's just going to be one of the biggest things is that a lot of these guys, they can switch up their archetypes once they actually make it into the league. So you have the pure sharps, you have the shot creating slashes, which I would say probably the main combo for a lot of the guys. I think you see a lot more shot creating slashers going on forward into this draft there as well. But I mean, Mavs Gaming, you're good with this one. You get the first pick. Yes, you'd have to wait a little bit to get that second pick, but the fact that Dave Fry was able to fall so deep, that's something that you rock with a big smile on your face, to be completely honest with you. If you're able to go into this round and you're really just picking the cards, you're dictating the tempo of how these other teams are going to have to play into your hand at this point in time. So we still have a little bit on the clock before the pick is going to be finalized. As we said, as this weekend does progress on, we go into this round 1 where we saw the picks coming pretty rapid fire. Everybody knows that first one, but start you move into second and third round, that's where things get a little bit interesting, and that's where you need to start focusing a lot more for these guys. But I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to flip through. I'll pick one player I think could be going here. I'll actually go over towards my mock draft and see how this one went. I think actually for this pick, I ended up going Nate Allen, but he's already going to be gone from that one. So there goes my mock draft out the window. I haven't been looking at this entire time because it's been so wrong. So Dave Fry, he's going to be out of the picture here. So now we'll go ahead and transition over towards the shooting guards into this one. So we can see Dimes, he's always been used to playing with Swizzard, but we've seen Swizzard team up there with Walkons Pacers Gaming. So that's just going to be one of the bigger things when we look into that picture. I think there's a couple more breakout teammates that are still left on the cards for Dimes to try to fill, but you know he's going to want to try to play with somebody who he feels more comfortable with playing with. And that's just the common story out of everybody in this game thus far. They want to try to get with those former teammates. They want to create that 1-2 punch. And with Dave Fry and Dimes, it's a good start for Mavs Gaming. And now moving on forward, you just have to try to make that open decision. Pick is going to be coming in here shortly, just waiting for one last call, and then the Mavs Gaming pick will actually be locked in. But then again, if you are on the side of Mavs Gaming, you can maybe sit there, and if you're Jonah, you're picking through, like, okay, there's a possibility that we could go for a center. And one that I want to highlight is going to be Kobe Youssef, the Canadian guy who I said, maybe he's going to go to Raptors Uprising within these first couple rounds or anything like that, but that hasn't been the case thus far. So you can really try to get that focus, and if you want Dimes to maybe transition to more of being pass first, so we know as a team type of guy, that's what you can start to get him to do. You get that center into the game, you're going to be able to run that pick and roll, and that's something when you draft a center, you have to make sure they're going to be okay with Dimes doing his thing. When it comes down to utilizing those dribble moves, getting those combinations, trying to put up his own shot, you need to make sure you're finding a center who likes to play into that style. Maybe one who shoots is where you can kind of go down to. Really, you're looking at the list of centers, one notable, and he's a European player, it's going to be JLB. Guy compares himself to Dirk Nowitzki. Don't bias, I love him so much. But he's going to have that type of stretch big in him. He's going to be that guy, he wants to shoot that 3 ball. I mean, he's claimed himself, he wants to be that type player of the NBA 2K League. So that's just going to be one of the big things going on forward, is I think you definitely do need to try to get a stretch big going on forward. But enough of the jibber jabber from me. We do have the pick in for the first pick here in the third round. It will be Mavs Gaming. We'll throw it down to the podium to announce the pick.
It's been a great draft so far. We're about to start the third round. With the first pick of the third round in the 2018 NBA 2K League Draft, Mavs Gaming selects JLB, center from Germany.
I love this man. JLB he's one of those European talents, right? And you don't really see them go up against any competition, but you saw my reaction. I stood up, I fist bumped.
I need to see your reaction.
JLB is like this star guy in the fact. So like I said, he calls himself, he's from Germany, so he calls himself the Dirk Nowitzki of the NBA 2K League. That's what he's going to be. He's going to the Mavs Gaming team.
Perfect.
I could not think of a better picture. JLB, I'm so happy for you in this one. And just his statistics, I think, probably going down the route of really what other centers did. They go for more of that slashing rebounder, but I know he's going to end up transitioning into that role. He's going to end up going into that shooting role. And I feel like if you're mad, you're playing with Dimes now. And like we said, you need a stretch big. that's a good read coming here from Jonah. Jonah, I love that pick as well, but just get a look at the stat lines. He knows what he's capable of.
I mean, of course, and you look at just his winning, 86%, but let's just talk about the numbers. 23 points he's giving you. He's giving you 16 rebounds a game, 70% from the field goal. So he can do a little bit of everything. And the other thing about that, too, that we love the fact, offensive rebounds, we talk about it, 5 a game, efficiency 73%. I mean, this is the guy that they wanted. They targeted him. They got him right now. 2 great back-to-back picks for them.
And that's one of the things, too. It's so important that you try to get one of those stretch players. So now you know you have JLB, who's going to be able to hit from there as well. And I'm going to try to pronounce where he's from. Nordenrhein-Westfalen, Germany. That's why I just saw that. I've been seeing that ever since we got these documents. I wanted to pronounce it, and I was saving it for on air too. But no, yeah, it's one of those things too. And this is one of the big talking points, right? We now have our first European being taken here in the draft. They have to make that move. He's going from Germany. He's going all the way down to Dallas, Texas.
Well, the good thing about that is I feel like the Mavs have a little experience with dealing with someone from Germany having to get all the way over there to Dallas. So that's going to be great. And I also think about this. You're talking about the travel to get there. Now you're talking about just the communication. Like, this team is going to have to really integrate really fast and be able to just, I mean, there's certain styles. Like, I always say this a lot of times. In Europe, there's a certain style that they play, right?
Yeah.
And here in the U.S., we play a certain style. But now you're getting a big, this is stretch, understands the game, and now you're having to integrate with guys, I mean, dimes, all of them. It's going to be fun just to watch.
And that's just like one of the great things, and that's why, honestly, I wasn't putting JLB to go here in the 3rd round. I maybe looked at him being closer towards that 5th round of a pick, and that's just one of the things, too. But, I mean, I just love the guy overall, and I know a lot of people probably at home, well, he's from Germany. What's a language barrier going to be like? The first time I ever watched this guy stream, I sat there, I was like, is he even from Germany? Like, he sounds like he just speaks perfect English. It doesn't even sound like any German, and all of a sudden he starts speaking German to me. He's like, oh, okay, yeah, I get it now. But no, just overall, it's a great pick. You put a stretch big now on with dimes, and that's exactly what you need. And he's going to be joined up there with Dave Fry. And this Mavs gaming team, just from those 3 picks, it looks scary. I know a lot of people are maybe like, okay, well, I didn't expect JLB to really go here. I thought centers are going to be more of that dominant role. And again, they're going to be able to switch up these archetypes, but it's definitely a great start. But now it's going to put Celtics crossover gaming on the clock here for that 2nd pick in the 3rd round. So let's go ahead and just recap how the team looks thus far. So you had Compete. He's going to be at that 1st spot and over towards that 2nd spot. Flip through the pages real quick. They're going to have Arsenal as well. So they already have that point guard. They already had that center. So now this is where you maybe look for a few more scoring options when it comes down to it. I don't think you really have to worry about the defensive side of things or the big man scoring down low. But the pick is going to be in for Celtics crossover gaming. We'll send it down to the stage.
With the 2nd pick of the 3rd round in the 2018 NBA 2K League Draft, Celtics Crossover Gaming selects Melo East, small forward from New York.
He has himself listed as a team-oriented player with that championship mentality, and when you have to go play for the Celtics organization, you need that championship mentality. Those Boston fans can be pretty ruthless there as well. So Melo East, he's going to be heading out even more east from New York to go over there towards Boston. So we do have Melo East down on the floor with Mr. Fresh.
That's right, Melo East telling me he's hyped. What's going through your mind?
Right now I'm hyped up. Right now I'm playing with 2 former teammates right now on slight work, so it's a dream come true. It's a blessing. I want to thank the man upstairs first of all, and thank my beautiful mother that just came through for me, and I'm just really hyped up right now.
It's awesome. What can the fans in Boston expect from you 3?
Great leadership, chemistry, and 3 people that are determined to develop a great culture in this organization.
That's wonderful. Congratulations to you, Melo East. Back over to you guys at the table.
I sat there, man, I called out my boy Rico. I said that he's a guy who typically focuses more on the one side of the console thing, Xbox side of things. He's now picked 3 players who used to play together on Slight Work who was on that Xbox side. So it really doesn't surprise me, and I feel like that's an excellent draft strategy for him, the fact that he was able to at least get these guys with that chemistry and going on forward. So now they just have to try to fix out what these next 2 picks are going to be. But now as we keep on going down the snake draft, it's going to be Jazz Gaming. They're going to be at that pick number 3. So we'll see what options they have on the table. So I already saw from the Jazz, they took Compete, and then they ended up also taking Slaughter 01. I believe the Slaughter was going to be the small forward for that. No, Slaughter was going to be the center, sorry. So it's going to be the point guard center again, and I think just from what we've been seeing so far, is they get the point guard, they get the center, and then that's when they go for that small forward there as well.
Yeah, we can see that definitely happening, but give it up for the Celtics crossover, because one of the things that I noticed is they're going for guys that already have a little bit of that chemistry built up, probably with the mentality that, look, it won't take us as long to get there to where we want to be as a team. So their strategy is a little bit different than some of the other teams, but they really start pulling some things together here now that we have 3 of their picks.
Yeah, they most definitely have. So it'll definitely be interesting to see how the Jazz do decide to go, and that's why you're seeing the picks take a little longer. As I say, the picks are taking a little longer. I get a little voice inside my ear, and it's our producer saying that the pick is going to be in Jazz Gaming. You're up. You're ready to go.
With the 3rd pick of the 3rd round in the 2018 NBA 2K League Draft, Jazz Gaming selects Deeds, power forward from Virginia.
Ooh, it's going to be Deeds going over there towards that Jazz Gaming side. So he's going to be the power forward for this team. He came in as that rebounding athletic finisher as well. And an impressive stat line being put up there by the power forward. 23 points per game. He's, again, I feel like in the power forwards we're seeing so many assists being racked up from these guys as well. 14 rebounds. And he has some pretty nice skills to go along with that one as well.
Yeah, I mean, the versatility is there. And if you have that, that's going to bode well for you. But I think also the thing with Deeds is you're talking about somebody that's, we talk about slasher, aggressive play. I mean, he fits right in well with what the other picks that they've done so far.
All right, and we do have my boy Scott Fresh down on the floor with some Heat Check Gaming guys. Scott, what do they have to say?
That's right. We got a couple of guys over here from Miami, the new dynamic duo. You guys obviously have a history together. How exciting is it to be teamed up with somebody that you know and have known for a while and trust?
I've been playing him for like a few years. We play on and off, and we've been friends for years, so it's exciting, and we're going to win a lot of games.
I mean, I think one of the most exciting parts of this entire event is you guys are packing up, moving to a whole new city, living in the same house, working together all summer long. What does it mean to have somebody that you already know joining on this journey along with you?
It's makes the transition a lot easier, knowing somebody for so long. And, man, we're going to win a lot of games, I'm not going to lie to you.
You guys are confident, yeah?
Super confident.
Yeah, that's exciting. What's one of the first things you guys are going to do when you guys get down to Miami?
I'm going to take the biggest room, man. I'm going to go from there.
Wait, you're calling dibs on the biggest room already and you haven't even seen the house?
Well, he went first round, so he probably going to get it.
Okay, all right, so first round gets the biggest room, yeah?
Yeah, that's how it goes.
Okay, so then the last round gets what? Like the closet, the garage? What's going on?
The attic?
The attic. Well, congratulations to both of you heading down to Miami. Excited that 2 guys that know each other are going to be teammates moving forward. Congratulations to you both. Back over to you, Dirk.
Thank you very much, Scott. You guys got to see the 2 new faces of Heat Check Gaming, and there will be a 3rd man added towards that roster by the end of this round as well. But Kingsguard Gaming, the clock has already been moving down for them. So just to quickly recap on the picks that they have made thus far. So for Kingsguard, you're going to have Moody. He was drafted at the power forward. Then you got Worthing Cole at the center. And now in your opinion, just obviously just from a basketball standpoint, you have a great 1-2 punch down low. Do you need to get a point guard at this point in time?
I think you do. I think you have to go in that direction. But at the same time, we've been seeing a high premium on guards or small forwards that can shoot the basketball. But I think that they should go with a guard right now.
Yeah, I think it's going to be, honestly, maybe try to go. I feel like with this pick, you need to try to find that balance, and it is worth mentioning that Timely Cook is still going to be on the clock there as well, too. So the pick is going to be in for Kingsguard Gaming. We'll toss it back down to the floor once more to Brendan Donahue.
With the 4th pick of the 3rd round in the 2018 NBA 2K League Draft, Kingsguard Gaming selects Timely Cook, point guard from Ohio.
So finally, we see Timely picked. I think this is way late than I think what a lot of people would have expected going on forward. But, I mean, Kingsguard Gaming kind of making teams pay. Okay, we ended up getting one of the best shooting power forwards that's in the game in Moody. We ended up getting a big bully down low in Worthing Cole. Now you let us put a great point guard on our team, too. So it's just one of those situations where if somebody were to snag Timely in that 2nd round, that's where you kind of sit there and you're like, well, what do they have to work with? How would this pick would have really adjusted for the side of Kingsguard Gaming there as well? So now Pistons are going to be in the clock, and they're in the same situation now. They have to try to go for a point guard here in this one. And I know just when I was talking through the strategy, it was just, I know that the manager there and the analytical work that they're doing is that if they don't feel like there's that top talent that can really play with their guys, they're going to leave that point guard to the 5th round. They're going to go all the way down towards that side. But you can see first picks that they ended up getting was Let's Get It Raymond. They got Insanity as well, and Insanity is a guy who's been able to play point guard too, so you can look for him even being at that small forward. If he picks the right archetypes to rock with, he can end up trying to run that show. So that's something that you kind of look at, and you have that versatility when it does come down to it as well. But so this time it's a little bit of a different situation. We don't have a power forward and center. We have a power forward and small forward. Do you still feel like you need to go for a point guard here if you're pitching?
Well, just from what you've been talking about, I don't think that they feel they need to. I probably would, because guards and having a great guard that can score and do play defense as well is a high premium. But at the same time, we've looked at centers being taken right away. So I wouldn't be surprised if they flipped it on us and went for a center. But keep in mind, when you talk about Timely Cook that didn't get picked, you thought he would go higher, right?
Definitely.
Keep in mind, sometimes players slip and they end up on the right team they need to be on. And we've seen it draft after draft. And for this being the most historical draft, this isn't a surprise that we've had one player that slipped this much.
Yeah, like I said, this is honestly, if I'm looking at this draft, I'm looking at something that just kind of shocked me, was him falling all the way to the 3rd round. I thought at first round, and for me, my mock draft, I was like, okay, it's guaranteed it's going to be 1st round. When he didn't go in 2nd, I was sort of like, okay, what's going on? But then going here into the 3rd round, he's finally going to get swooped up, and it's Kingsguard Gaming team. A lot of these rosters, we start to fill them out. They have their big 3 starting to build up, and that's like something you can look at. That core 3, how is that one going to go? Or because once it does go into the later rounds, it's looking like these players might be forced into a little bit more being like a role player, allowing these core 3 guys to let them do their thing, and just depending on who's then going to be left from this small forward position, the power forward, or even point guard, there could be some sleepers in here that we're kind of looking at and be like, oh yeah, well, we don't really consider them elite, and then they can come on through and dominate the league. That's one of the big things too. So if anybody has that potential to really start to break on through, Pistons GT thinking long and hard about this pick, who is going to be joining Ramo as well as Insanity in Detroit. And just that pair of those two, I feel like it just meshes well. I mean, Insanity is probably one of the most genuine guys and probably the easiest to get along with that I think that I have met in this community there as well. And with Ramo, he even talked about it. He's like, I'm playing with Ramo. I'm playing like the best two-way big in the game as well. But the pick is now going to be locked in. Let's throw it down to the floor to find out Pistons GT, 3rd pick.
With the 5th pick of the 3rd round in the 2018 NBA 2K League Draft, Pistons GT selects Splash King, shooting guard from Tennessee.
Splash King will be joining Insanity and Ramo over there down in Detroit as well. So a nice little pickup. They're going for that shooting guard position there as well. So like I said, they're continuing with their strategy of saying, hey, you know what, we're just going to leave the point guard till later. But I think now, obviously in the next round, they have to pick a point guard or a center. But I can honestly probably see them going towards more in that center. You know there's going to be some point guards that are still going to be available. And I think with this roster that you're building, you're just trying to find a pass first point guard there as well. But we do have Splash King. He's down on the floor with our boy Scott. Send it down to him.
That's right, big day here in New York City, hanging out with Splash King. How does it feel to get drafted?
It's unexpected, and it feels like I can't explain it, but I'm happy and I'm ready to see what goes on in Detroit.
What are you looking forward to most about going to Detroit?
I really don't know yet.
You don't know much about the city. What can fans expect about your game?
Dedication. Try to win the championship.
Yep.
Yeah.
Working hard. How does it feel to be a part of such a historic event today?
Can't explain it, man. It is so real. Pretty sure all of us say that.
Yeah, you're speechless. He's excited. He's excited to be headed to Detroit. Back over to you, Dirk.
Oh, I definitely would be too, especially with that cast that you do have that's going to be surrounded by you. I think you do have to be excited.
Look, I'm going to start doing Splash King, how they do in Little League. I need to see his birth certificate. I need his ID. I need his age right now. Oh, my goodness. Great job. Congratulations to him. He was just so humble. I know he doesn't know a lot about Detroit, but I think his game and how hard he works coming to that city, everyone will fall in love with him.
I feel like it's just like that Pistons GT or Detroit Pistons mentality. It's just that grit and that grind.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what you know.
Gotta have it.
Almost like the bad boys. And it's obviously they had the bad boys at one point, but that's just something I feel like Pistons GTs, I think a lot of these, they might look at these NBA organizations as kind of like write them off like, oh, their gaming team might not be that good. But like you said, I was talking with Rachel about it too. It's just almost in a sense that you could have a team that's very good in the NBA and then the 2K League, their gaming team might not be up to par. And it's one of those like weird situations as well. But I think with just these 3 picks that they do have, Pistons GT is going to the right direction. But I just think when it comes down to it now, you go for a center. You look like you're trying to just build around that, take that point guard in that last spot. I think that's just something that you do have to do. But we do have Blazer 5 Gaming. They're on the clock, and it's going to be One Wild Walnut on that team. And Mama, I'm that man. It's going to be. I still love that name. I never get bored of saying it. But yeah, so that is going to be the next pick that's coming up there. So they do have that point guard. They have that center, and if things keep going how they've been going, we're probably going to see a small forward taken here, which I don't argue one at all.
Well, that's also keep in mind if you're a team that you're not focused on your point guard being a heavy, having to carry a heavy load with scoring, you can build around that and find you a pass first type of point guard that can be able to be integrated with the bigs you have or the small forwards or the shooting guards. I mean, you look at Splash King going, and obviously he's a pure shooter for the Pistons. We were thinking maybe they'll grab a point guard, but they don't feel pressed to do it. They're building around and probably going to look for that pass first point guard.
Most definitely. So the pick is going to be in for Blazer 5 Gaming. It's going to be pick number 6 here in the 3rd round of the NBA 2K League Draft. Let's go ahead and toss it down to the stage for the announcement.
With the 6th pick of the 3rd round in the 2018 NBA 2K League Draft, Blazer 5 Gaming selects Dat Boy Shots, power forward from California.
And as well, that boy Shots going to be sitting at around 25 points per game. He's going to average 6 assists. And again, the power forward's looking like triple-double machines here in the combine, almost averaging 15 rebounds to go along with that one. Shots, just a great all-around guy. I think I actually ended up playing against him in the combine too. And again, a game I need to forget completely. Yeah, just overall strong power forward. He's going to have that teamwork. He has that charisma too, and I feel like that's exactly what you need for this Blazer 5 team.
Yeah, and I think you look at that boy Shots, and he practices, puts the hours, and he puts the work in. Hard worker, rebounder, athletic, just a nice finisher around the rim, and that's what you want. We have efficiency at 67, but he's also shooting a higher percentage at the 2-pointers. You're not going to get a lot of threes out of him. We understand that. But what you're looking for is his toughness, his inside presence, giving you those 14 rebounds a game. Just an overall good pick for them.
Yeah, most definitely is too. I mean, and next up is going to be Heat Check Gaming. I mean, we got to talk to a couple of the players, and they're like, we're winning. That's one of the things too. So, I mean, you already know they have the chemistry. They're starting to come out of their shell a little bit. It's like starting to settle in. Okay, I'm drafted. My life has changed. I'm ready for this move that's going to be coming up very here shortly. But now with this Heat Check team, so you have Hot Shot, best center in the game, and then you also are going to be looking at having Majestic too, who I consider to be one of the top point guards. And now this is where you try to make that pick. So again, a similar situation. You have that 1-2 punch. We just saw in that last pick, Splash King was ended up taking, so they went for more of a shooting guard, which I honestly could see somebody like you famous enough venturing out that way and trying to get somebody who's going to be able to knock down those shots. I mean, that's one of the things that it makes you feel good when you pick Hot Shot in this, because you just know that you can leave him by himself. And there's times where if he's, I don't think in the NBA 2K League, but just in past experience, if he's not going up against a great power forward center, he can just hold his own and like body the paint by himself. So I think when you have Hot Shot down there, you're sitting there, you're very confident, like, sweet, like I got the best center. I don't have to worry about the paint anymore. I can maybe start to build on forward, but it wouldn't surprise me one bit if maybe they start to go towards that Heat culture of the Shaq domination. They start to bring in another power forward and then take it right down there. Try to get the best power forward center combo in the game.
Well, I can see that happening, and I think it really comes down to the combinations that you have and the players that play with each other, and the familiarity that you have with the players. A lot of times these players are like, oh, I play with this guy or I play with that guy. Sometimes it's about who you've played against, because you understand strengths and weaknesses as well.
And that's just like one of the things too, is that just the players that they draft, like these guys play against the best of the best, like leading up to the combine and everything as well. But we will be getting that Heat Check Gaming pick in now. We'll go ahead and toss it down to the stage for the announcement.
With the 7th pick of the 3rd round of the 2018 NBA 2K League Draft, Heat Heat Check Gaming selects 24K Drop-Off, power forward from British Columbia, Canada.
It's 24K drop-off will be the player selected there by Heat Check Gaming in this one. So definitely see how that does work out with the rest of this team. We're trying to dig through. We're trying to find the stats. I know that's what you're working on. We're trying to flip through our folder, trying to find out what's going to be going on there too. But in the meantime, while we try to dig up the stats and try to find the papers, we're going to go and toss it down to an interview with 24K drop-off and Scott.
That's right. Just found out you're heading to Miami. How you feel, dude?
Beach, South Beach. He's looking for the stats. I averaged a triple-double in the combine. I'm going to tell them every team that passed me is going to regret it. Every single team. Me, Hotshot, Majestic, it's over. It's over. Nothing else to say.
I love the confidence over here. This young man's got a chip on his shoulder. Dirk, triple-double. He averages a triple-double. My man, back over to you.
Find the stats. Find the stats. I just want to say shout out to everybody. Damaris, everybody that was on my Team Canada that believed in me. Mark, you should be here. Pookie, everybody, man. Shout out to Skinny. Man, it's crazy.
That's right. Triple-double. That's right, Dirk. Back over to you, buddy.
Let's see the triple doubles. And again, he's a power forward. He actually averaged that triple double going into that one as well. So like he said, he doesn't know how he went this low. He said to himself that he has probably one of the best stats. And I'm going to get a little bit of a pick your mind. The style that he's wearing, he's not going with the traditional suit. He's going with the more laid back hoodie. I think his hoodie actually has his gamer tag towards the bottom there as well too.
Nice.
So, different.
Look, I love the confidence. He's basically like, I can show you better than I can tell you, even though he told us about his stats. I definitely appreciate that because we couldn't find him up in here. But just understanding that he's a player, he brings the overall game. I mean, you don't get a triple-double even at the combine with that type of competition without knowing your stuff and being able to play. And keep in mind, when a player drops sometimes, it doesn't necessarily mean that a team's so much passing on you. It's about, do you fit in with the other people they've already picked? So, I mean, you take it as maybe a knock a little bit. You use that as motivation. As players, we always do that. But at the same time, understand that teams are building out their team. So you just make sure you look at every team that's past you. And when you go play up against them, you make sure they pay.
They're just all one long list. You're sitting there. And
just X them off as you go down the list.
You sit there like, you know what? I'm going down my calendar for next season. I'm putting an X right here. I want these guys. I also want these guys as well. But no, that's one of the things, too. Like, we love the confidence. And a lot of people, they've just been going up there. Obviously, it's their first time, some of them even being interviewed. So we don't expect too much. But the fact that he was able to come up here, he says, you know what, I'm not even going to be starstruck. I'm just mad that I fell all the way down here as well. But now, with pick number 8 here in the third round, it's going to be Magic Gaming. We'll toss it down to the floor.
With the 8th pick of the third round of the 2018 NBA 2K League Draft, Magic Gaming selects Supreme Puller, small forward from Illinois.
You see there, Supreme Puller going to be selected at the small forward position, going over there towards the side of Magic Gaming. So now this roster, as it stands, is currently going to be sitting at Magic Gaming. Where are you? It's going to be UC Manny, and then as well as from the other side, it's going to be Control as well. So they already have one of the point guards, like I said, is kind of be like one of those sleeper picks as well. But we will have Supreme Puller down on the floor. Mr. Fresh, we're calling you.
Supreme, how you doing, man? You just got drafted. What's going through your mind?
Feeling good. I love Orlando. It's one of my dream cities to be, and can't wait to get some wins out here.
That's awesome. Going to your dream city today is obviously a dream come true. Now, going back 10 years, something like this, a draft, was almost unfathomable. So how cool is it with you and everyone in this room to be making history tonight?
It's awesome. We all put in the work, all 102, even the 250. Everybody who even tried out put in the work. So we all deserve it, and we're going to do our best for the first year.
Well, congratulations. Oh, go ahead.
And shout out to my fiance out there and everybody at home. Team Greatness. Doing it for you.
Awesome. Well, congratulations to you. Heading to Orlando. Congratulations. Back over to you, Dirk.
as you see there, Supreme Pillar very humble in his approach towards that one. So like we said, you're going to have UC Manny. He's going to be pairing up there with Control. So now you're going to have that 3. Let's move in towards the 9th pick. You can see the clock in the top right is already moving on forward for the side of Knicks Gaming. And just to recap, they ended up taking Goofy 757 with their first round pick. Then they decided to go over towards this small forward where they ended up taking Nate Cowell. You guys probably know him as Nate Island. So now going into this one, I'm sort of looking at the Knicks, and I know a lot of people in their mock drafts, they were putting Gunnar, another European player, up here with the Knicks. And he's a solid all-around point guard. But here's the thing when it comes down to the competition, specifically in esports, is that these guys don't get to play the top level North American competition. Like this is an esport where it's dominated by North American players. So now these guys get to come over. They get to try to get their feet wet and get that experience. Compared to when it comes down to playing online, you just need to be in that neutral environment. So honestly, I think Gunnar's a great pick, but he's just more of that. I think he averaged almost the most points out of any other point guard in the combine too. But don't get me wrong, he can still pass. That's going to be one of the things. I know a lot of people have been putting it heavy on towards the Knicks Gaming, and honestly, I think getting more of like a scoring point guard could be good for them too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, look at what they've got so far. You got the shooting guard, you got the power forward. Now you add that other element to it of having a solid point guard. But keep in mind also, like you said, competition, you have to look at it through a certain glass. And the one thing that I always look at is for me, when I played in Europe, the style of play was different there versus how it was here in the U.S. Now, in the gaming world, you have to think about when you come here and you go up against another level of competition, does that change how you approach the game, or does that make you better as far as the gifts you already have gotten, how hard you work to get here?
Yeah, and that's like one of the typical things, and just from my experience in esports, is that there's a lot of times where if you say you get a full team and they're from Australia and they come over to the United States and they're playing a North American team, it's almost to a point where you don't know what they're doing because you don't care about studying with them, because they're just like, you're over that side of the world, we don't care, like the competition's over here. So that's just like one of those things that they don't really study up on them, and they can catch them by surprise just by the play style. Sometimes it works out, sometimes they just get absolutely obliterated here. But I think just with the transition, specifically for the European players, we have 2 big men that are going to be at the center position, so we only have the 1 solo point guard in Gunnar. But I mean, there's a reason why people are throwing him into these conversations of why he should be going at around this round, or should be going probably into the next round. I don't see him really slipping to that 5th or 6th. That's where something I think Gunnar is going to be taken before that one too. But as we do get into those later rounds, that's where you're going to see a lot more people watching at home. It's people that really we just got introduced to as well, coming in through the combine, maybe names that we haven't heard of, and that's what's been so great about the NBA 2K League Combine. It was able to get this undiscovered talent. It was able to push them out and give them a platform to play their game, and they took advantage of what was in front of them. They absolutely dominated, and that's the reason why they're here there as well. So Knicks Gaming, you just have to try to think of which way they're going to build. And like I said, you still have a few point guards that are on the board you can go with, but I honestly, if they want to go point guard, I say Gunnar would be honestly a pretty good pick for these guys to go with. But the pick is now going to be in for Knicks Gaming. Let's see who they select for number 9.
With the 9th pick of the 3rd round in the 2018 NBA 2K League Draft, Knicks Gaming selects Yay Not Gaming, shooting guard from Indiana.
This is one of these things too. We're starting to see more shooting guards go now, and like we said, you really didn't predict them to go in the 1st or even the 2nd round. We saw a few like the top shooting guards being taken there as well. So now we're going to see another one go. It's going to be Yay Not Gaming, shooting guard. He played in that slashing shot creator, and like we said, you're either going to see the shooting guards in the combine play at that position exactly, or they're going to be rocking on towards that pure sharp there as well. But now he's going to be joining the Knicks Gaming crew there as well. Let's go ahead and toss it down to an interview with Yay Not Gaming and Scott.
That's right, man. It's probably been a wild few days here in New York City. I hope you enjoy the city because you're going to be spending a lot of time here. How excited are you right now?
Oh, man, I'm thrilled, man. I'm definitely blessed. Definitely want to shout out my family back at home for watching, my mom, my dad, my sister, and my sister at home, my buddy AT for coming by. I also want to shout out the Smooth Ones and Pod 3 back at C.H. Robinson when I was doing logistics. Those guys, they believed in me when I even believed in myself. And most importantly, want to thank the man above, man, for blessing me.
That's awesome. Well, congratulations. You're in New York City. You're going to stay here for a while. Congrats to you, sir. Back over to you, Dirk.
Yeah, this is a great pick. I mean, all around, you just heard from his mentality and everything that's going to be going forward with Knicks gaming. Very positive, looking to try to make his mark down here as well. And I think it's just one of the big things. We always get the quotes from the players and which way that they play. This guy says, a genius floor general who always works to get his teammates involved, and that's exactly what you're going to need. I mean, he's at the shooting guard position too, so that's one of the biggest things, and I feel like you kind of look at that saying, and if you select him, if you're the Knicks, you're like, okay, we have a shooting guard who can potentially move over towards that point guard position or control the ball as well, and I think that's pretty big.
Yeah, and you look at kind of the strategy so far, and you're starting to see similarities, I think, with the Pistons as well, because now they've taken power forward, small forward, a shooting guard, and that just really sums up what they're doing. They think they can kick them a point guard probably later on down in the later round.
And the picks have been taken a while, but immediately we have Bucks Gaming. They're all set and they are ready to go. Let's go ahead and toss it back down to the podium. Brendan, take it away.
With the 10th pick of the 3rd round of the 2018 NBA 2K League Draft, Bucks Gaming selects Precision, shooting guard from Illinois.